Hi everyone, it's me, QW, with Artisan of Glimmith, the game that has gone on about 30 to 40 episodes too long. Um, sorry, it's just bloated. Anyway, I'm gonna take a look at this hedge maze. There's only 5 more puzzles to gild this, only 9 more puzzles to bejewel it. I'll start with gilding and see where we go from there. So we got the compass rule here. This is one of those that's a little stranger. The compass is going to count the number of cells. It says north, south, east, or west. Just think up, down, left, and right. So this is going to count 1 cell, for instance. That means whatever cells these take, it can only take 1 of the cells below it. I know it's broken that, right? It takes 1 cell here. This right here fulfills this, right? Because it doesn't fulfill that one, it's fine. Because it takes 1 cell, which is below. That was the easiest way to explain I could ever think. So, where do we start with this guy? So this piece here has got to see 4 cells to the right. There's so many cells we can see to the right, though. This sees 4 cells to the right. There's not very many of these we can see. So let's just think which cell we're not seeing. For instance, if we said we don't see this one, that means we have to see these 4. But it's not part of this. This cell is broken. So we do have to see this piece, this is just the answer. If I don't do it this way, right? If I don't see these 3 cells, if I say this cell is part of this unit, what do I do? In order to get up to there, I have to see more than 3 things. Therefore, this is the cell. This is here. We can't take any other cells above. So that means these all have to be blocked off. We could take this one. We don't know. This piece now has to see 3 to the left. This is one of them. It could see all that. We don't know. No, it can't do that. The reason is, if these 2 cells are part of the same unit, it now needs to see both 1 and 2 cells below them, which is impossible. So we have to block this. We have to go here. And now the trouble is, we can only see 1 more cell to the left of this unit and 1 more cell below this unit. So this cell breaks it. Or sorry. No, this cell or that cell. This cell doesn't break it any more than this cell, any more than that cell breaks it. It's one of these 2. Which means this cell breaks the puzzle for a different reason. If I do this, I obviously can't move up. So I'd have to put a wall here, and this unit here needs to see a cell below. That's it. That's the cell. It can't extend any further, and now this 4 has no way of being complete. Therefore, this is the region. We can't extend it in any way. So let's think about what cells we can see elsewhere. Okay, hold on. If this unit here, if we were to move it to the right, like this, we can only, every cell that we add to this piece must be above this unit. And we can only add 1 more, but we need 2 more units to the left of here, which is going to overload. But if we do this, yeah. Therefore, these are part of separate units. This piece is now done. Any piece we add is going to break it. So there are only 3 units to the left of this piece. A careful study will reveal, right? It's these 3 right here. We have to take them all. This needs 4 pieces to the right, and I think it's just going to be here. We can solve it from there. Nice. Good puzzle. Is this part of that? That's a big one. Let's go to a smaller. Let's go down here and see what we got. Ooh, a 2 that I've missed. Okay. Okay. So this piece here it can't take this unit here, and it can't take that unit, but it needs to get to a lower region. So it's got to take that one, and then this one's just got to loop around here. Yeah, easy. That felt more like a 1 to me, but whatever. That's just because I'm so smart. Big brain fella. Everything's got to be an elbow. Let's think about elbows. What's this? If this is an elbow, this is an elbow. So I can't go up there. I have to go 2 to the left, which means this or that. And it's got to be this one, so it can't go up. Yeah, that's got to be that. That's an elbow here. Neither of these are taken. It can't be this way, so it's got to be that or that. This piece, we need 1 to the right, 1 below. So this is not possible because it overloads. This is not possible, therefore it does have to be this. This piece is here. That's that. That's that. That's that. That's that. This one needs to be here, and we're done. Nice. That felt more like a 2. That was good. That was right on the money, difficulty-wise. Okay, what do we do here? This can only take one piece above, so it can never take that one. No, it can. I can take it by doing that. But it can't go any further than that. It's stuck in this area. This piece can only take one. Yeah, how do I get two pieces below this one and only one to the right? It's got to be these two. I can't take this piece. Because now how do I get two pieces below? That's it. So that is the beginning of that. And then we have to stop it. Two to the right and three above. Here's all the pieces above. These are the 5 that are above this station. 4 of them are to the left of this. I can only use 2 of them to the left, therefore it is these 3, like so. If I use this piece right here, I now can only do, this isn't going to work, so it's got to be these 3. This is going to be an interesting one now. We got to get 2 spaces below. It's got to be these 2 right here, which means... Nah, it can't be these 2. 2 below, it's got to be these 2. This got to go up. That's 2 and 2. Is there any other way to do that? Yeah, that's the only way to do it. So now I need 1 and 1. So it's not going to be like that or that. It's just going to be this. So 2 and 2 up here is like so. 2 and 1 is like that. This needs 4 spaces above. These are the 4 spaces above. And then I have 3 there and that. So now the rest of this is just solo pieces. I think I'm good. There, easy. How about you? 3? 3 is fine. These 2 pieces can't connect. If these 2 pieces connect, we need to see both 4 and 2 to the left. That's going to be interesting, which means we can't connect these. So this orange section now has got to come out. We're going to make this one blue. We've got to take 4 of these units. There are 6 units here. We add these together, we get these. So this must take 4 of them. And if the orange takes this one, we're screwed, right? Like we can't have the orange cut off the blue. Therefore, the blue needs to take these, and the orange is going to need to take these. And this orange is going to be at least 3 spaces to the right of this piece, which means the orange has to come around this one. Now this piece here can never move right or left. So it's got to be this. We're just locked in. So this is our orange. We have to go this way. We can't move up. We have to go at least this far. This piece right here will make it green. Now has to move here, and that's done. Okay, I see. I see what we're doing. We're making a bunch of like little things for the orange guy to go through. That's a cool like. See, here's the thing about puzzle games. I am a little bit indifferent to the difficulty. I'm okay with a puzzle game that's too easy. I'm okay with a puzzle game that's too hard. What I want is to be surprised. I want something interesting to learn about the puzzles, right? This was an interesting sort of revelation I went through. So even though that puzzle ended up feeling much easier than a 3 to me, I at least had that experience. What I don't want is a slog where every single piece is this 45-minute look at every single cell and figure out. It's like playing a Sierra adventure game. You have to take your whole inventory, go to every single screen in the game, use every single item on every single object until one of them works. It's that sort of thing. I don't want to solve that kind of puzzle. I want to solve this kind of puzzle, which is freaking awesome. I'm going to jump back to the difference area because I like the difference area. I was just here. I know it. Can I get into the like view into this area that's better? This is 6s. I'm looking for like 4s and stuff. Let's see. Make sure to get all those 4s out of the way. Okay. I wonder what size these are. Okay, so we know the differences here. Size separation as well. That's going to be an interesting rule. So we know this is a 2. We know this is a 4, 4, 4. So either these 4s connect to each other. They can't all connect to each other. That would be a region of 5. Or they all have to be completely separate. This has to be 4, 4. These have to be 3s. These 2 3s can connect to each other. It is allowed. We will allow it just this once. This is a 5. Got some 4s, 4s, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. 3, 4, 4, 4. So that was the gimme. The rest of this is going to take some work, although right here, not going to take much work. I got other 2s. 3s are here. And then 4s are here. There, and then 5. So this is also 3. What we know about things to start with is that this 2 right here can't move left, this one can't move down, because then they would be touching each other, and this rule says no touching. Also, these 3s. This 3 can't move to the right, because it'll have to take both of the other 3s, and that would make it a 4. This is the same, this is the same. These are all separated. This 2 can't move that way, this 2 can't move that way. That is separated. This could be a 1, that's totally fine, it is allowed. We just don't know yet. This 4 has got to be a part of one of these 2. Don't know which one. It can be part of this one just fine. And then just ignore that, or it can be part of that one and just ignore it. What else can I figure out from here? I think I had my own... Oh, hold on. This 4 can't move down. These 4s can't move into this center piece because then they'll end up being 5s. So that is a solo piece. This 4 definitely is connected to one of these 2. Which one is the question? If I don't connect these, this 4 would have to be this shape, which is totally fine. If I bring this down, we have to connect there, not there. If I said, okay, maybe on here I can do something. Maybe it's the same here. If I don't connect this 4 to here, I'd have to connect it around this way. I'd have to have a solo and then a 2 here, which is totally fine. Yeah, if I connect this here... Yeah, I guess I can either make this shape or... Oh, hold on a second. Can't go this way either. Can't go this way either. These twos are set. Haha. I just missed that one. I just didn't look over there. When I looked at these 2s, I looked specifically at that spot and then just decided that I had done my work and I left. And then I forgot to look at the rest of it. So that's that. Hold on, let's color these in. These are 4s. So this 3 now. This 4's got to touch one of these guys. This 3's got to come out. Yeah, I think this is set. This is set, definitely. This can't move up, so it's got to move over. It could move up again. We could have a solo piece here. We could move this across and have a solo and a domino. But all I know is it can't move up. That means this 5's got to move in. And like this. So these 2 4s touch, so we can't have this move to the right. We can't move this down, because then the 4 has no space. So this is the 5. The 4 is now boxed in like so. This is now a solo piece. This is the only way to do the 4, the only way to do the 3. Then... And then we scream and cry. We yell at video games. That's a good use of my time. No, actually, this is actually quite fun. I like this puzzle. What goes here? We can't move the 2 to the right, because then we have 2 things next to each other. So this 2 moves down. There we go. This can't be a 1, a 2, or a 4, so it has to be a 3 or a 5. This can't be a 3, can it? No, because it's next to a 3, you dummy. Right? It's next to a 1, it's next to a 3, it's next to a 4. So the smallest it can be is a 2, but then it would be next to this 2. So this is in fact a 5. So now, if this 4... what do I put in this space? That's the thing. This 4, if I blocked this here, it's fine. If, however, I blocked this way, if I said the 4 does not extend into here at all, then I could just extend this and we'd be fine. Okay, no. Didn't get anywhere. I thought I'd get somewhere with that. I did not. I failed. I failed you all. So, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. These can be connected to each other. They'd have to be connected like this, though. That's a restriction if I connect these. If I move this up, I have to take this. Well, if I do this, I have quite a lot of restrictions. Right? But none of them are yeah, there are game break. This doesn't work. I should look over here. If I put a wall there with this 4, I have to bring this up here, and then anything I do is going to have it touch another 4. So I can't put a wall there. I have to have these 3 touch. It means this can't go here. This can't move that way. We do in fact have this move. We in fact have a domino here. That's the way the 4 goes. That's the way the 3 goes. This could be a solo piece, but whatever the case, this 4 is to move out. It could be the 4. It can't move here. This can't move there. This does in fact make a T shape here. This can no longer move down. That's that. This has to move over, and it has to be like this, like so. Great. This can move here just fine. That's there. This can't be a 2 or a 3, but it can't be a 4 either, right? It can't be. It would touch another 4. This is here. It could be a 5. It could be a 5. That's in fact probably what the answer is. Nice. That one's, I really liked that puzzle, and it felt like it fit the difficulty I was being told it was. So I was enjoying the experience. Funny how that works out. If the puzzle's as difficult as I think it's going to be, then it's fun. Okay, we've got a bunch of elbows. We've got a bunch of 1 domino. We've got ourselves a good T shape. We've got a W, triomino, and then this big pentomino L. Okay, so what do I got to see with this? How am I going to make this shape work? If I put a wall to the left of this W shape, it's not going to fit anywhere. So this does have to move over. It's going to force me to put a 3 there, which could be this 3 or could be another 3. Nothing that says exactly what it's going to be yet. If I move, I have a lot of options now for this though. Actually, this one isn't, because then this would put a 4 here, and then this 3 is nowhere to go. All right? Yeah, because it's just not going to work. So that's not going to be it. But it could be this. It also could be that, or that. Don't really have that answer yet. If I move this up, I have to put a 5 here, which is scary. It scares me. There's no way this T-shape doesn't move to the right. I can't make the T-shape happen any other way. So this moves to the right, which means you have to have a 2 or a 6 there. Neither of which are going to be this shape, which means that this triomino now has to move straight up and down. That's the only way it can go. So we have a 6 here, which is not part of this L. So the L is like this or like that. This can't be here because that's a pentomino touching a 2 or a 6. So that has to be that, which means this has to be a 6 or a 4, which certainly isn't the elbow. This won't work because it will block things in. So the elbow is now like this. This 4 or 6 has to move like so. So this now, the W has these spaces filled in. It could fill this one in? No, because that, yeah, this has to be, okay, this is a T shape here. That's the W shape. This is the elbow shape. This is not possible because it's a 3 touching it, so we have to wall there. This piece now has to be a 6. It's pretty big. Let's have this 6 come out at least that far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we don't know anything else from there. 1, 2, 3. We have to take that spot. Either this or that, meaning this 6 can only take maximum 1 of these cells, and with that cell, it still has to take this. This is in fact a 6 cell here, but it could stop there. Now, if this 6 moves up here, we have to have a 5 in here, or a 7. There's not even 7 cells there, but 5 cells still fits in it, so we actually have to block that off. We have to move that in. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could take both of these cells, or we could take one of these cells, and it would be fine. Now, if this moves over, we could have a 2 or a 4. We can't have a 4 if this moves over because it would take all of these cells and then we wouldn't have enough for the 6. If this doesn't move over, well, no, I can't take both of these. So I can't have a wall here because I would take both of those cells. I have to move this over, and then this has to be a 2, like this. So now I have to take all of these. This is how it has to go. Nice. That's a good one as well. I liked that puzzle. That was fun. Why isn't the whole game like this? How many more? This different section? So many more before I get to the next step. All right, range 4 to 5. That's not a lot, is it? We have 9. We have 9 in every. So we have 9 in every section. So we have a 4 and we have a 5 and we have mismatch. We have 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am going to use all of my tetrominoes. That is for sure going to happen. Pentominoes is harder. I now know there are 12 pentominoes. I know that's the limit, but that took me a while to get to because I am thicko. But that's not going to help me because I have so many options for those. It's more about these. So where can I put things? I have to put an O somewhere. Where can I put an O? Let's look at the O spots, right? There's a spot. This is bad. Wherever I put the O has to leave space for a pentomino. Here is a spot for an O. So I'm going to mark that this one can have an O in it. I'm just going to mark it here. O goes next to that one, not this one. O can't go in here. O can't go in here. O can go in here. So there's 2 spots for O, and they're in there. Actually, I am going to put in the spot. These are the only spots where O fits. Where does the I go? I is also quite restrictive. I can go here. It can't go in this one or this one or this one. It can go there. So those are our I spots. I. How about the other ones? L can't go. L can go there. That's totally fine. L can go here. L looks pretty good. Oh, hold on. I, O, and L can't go in this one. Ah, this one has to be T. This has to be T in here. We can't put an I or an O in this middle section. We can't put an L, right? Any L, I'll show you. L can't go because where are we going to put it that doesn't create an orphan cell? We can't put an S in here either because every S spot we put in creates multiple orphan cells. Therefore, it must be a T shape and a P shape. That's what we have to do. T and P go in here. So that's done. So now we got to figure out amongst the rest, we have to put S and we have to put L, and they can kind of go anywhere. And if I put the T here, this is T or P. Let's just say that cell's one of the two. In fact, the P has to be this because it's either going to be this shape or it's going to be that shape. That's the P shape. So if the T shape was on this side, we would have to have this be the O because it has to be a tetromino, right? Well, this could still be the O. Don't know. If I did this, we'd have to have a tetromino here and a tetromino here. So this wouldn't be the I. The I would have to go over here. Ah, this doesn't work. Here's why. Found it. If we do this, this is a tetromino. This has to be, this has to be a 4. That's great. This has to be a 4, which means that's a 5, right? That's no longer an I shape. That means that's the I shape, which means it takes those 4. This is now a 5, but this is also a 5, and we don't have the difference thing working out. So from that, we can determine this is the shape of the TP. Now, this has to be the pentomino here. And in order for the pentomino to reach this shape, if we said this is not the I, in order for it to reach that shape, there's only one thing I can do that doesn't leave an orphan cell, because I'm going to have to take this and that. What do? This leaves orphan cells. This makes a P shape, which we have already used. Therefore, this right here is where the I goes. And is that right? Any other cell can go. It can't be an L. It can't be an S because it'll touch that spot. This has to be pentomino lane. It can't be a T because we've already used a T. So it is, in fact, the I shape that goes there. Gives us a big pentomino L right here, which means this has to be a tetromino and this has to be a pentomino. It means it can't be the O anymore. So that is the, that is the O. We have our F shape there. So now here we have a pentomino, tetromino. Let's just mark in what we got. We got to have penti there. So we need an S and we need an L. And I think it's very easy to figure out where those are going to go. That's going to be here, and then the S is going to be right there. That's not true. S is going to be right there. And then we have the whole thing figured out, like so. I really enjoyed that one too. See, it's just like I was saying, I want to be surprised. I want to be delighted by what I'm seeing, whether it's easy or hard. That's just, I want to see that. And there's so many puzzle types, so many rules that just turn into micromanaging, like loopy and bricky and all that kind of stuff. They just end up being a slog. Okay. That's right. I'm going to use a video where I'm actually enjoying the puzzles to still shit on the other ones. That's what I'm going to do. That's got to be a solo piece. This just looks confusing. There's just a lot on the page. I just need to get a handle on what I'm looking at. There's no other rules I have to worry about. It's just what's right on this wall. Do I get anything out of this? Get anything out of these? Doesn't seem to be much in the way of gimmies. Ah, this is one. This space here has to move either up or to the right. But no matter which direction it moves, it hits another dead end, which makes it a domino. We cannot escape this as a 2, which means this has to be a 4. So, if this straightaway moves this direction, it has to pick up this 4, and it's fine. If it moves this way, it doesn't have to pick up this 4. And we're still fine. Dang it, didn't get anything out of that. Can we ever put a wall here? Yes, we can. I was thinking, could this not be a 4? Did I get anything out of that? Ah, we have another one up here. We have the same situation up there where this is a 2, meaning this is a 5. Huh. This 5 has to connect to there. Here's why. If it doesn't connect to there, right? Because this will only have one wall. The wall can be here. It can be there. It can be any of these other things. But either way... No, it can only take one of these 2 spots because of the dead end. If I take both these spots, the dead end is broken. Therefore, both of these are taken by the piece. And this 5... Yeah, this 5 can't go to the dead end because that's not enough places for us. This 5 must connect to here. But that means this piece, the 5 must connect. This is in fact 5. I'm going to change it to my 5 color for now. I've been using purple for 5 for a while. And this must be a 4 or a 6. This is really confusing to draw on. It means this goes here. That's done. This 4 or 6, possibly a 4. 6 really is difficult, but it's not impossible to deal with. This 5. I have to take one of these 2 spots plus that spot. That means all of those can be filled in. Now, if this dead end here moves upward, we're in big trouble because... Nope, this is fine. This is fine. I thought we were in trouble. We wouldn't be able to make this work. I couldn't then have a separate thing. We wouldn't have enough spaces for it. Actually, if I do this, I have an F shape. And if I do this, I have a P shape. This doesn't really tell me much. We know the wall on this piece. We know the wall on this piece has to be like so. We don't know how big this piece is yet, but we know that's the wall. This can't be here. This now is a dead end. And it could extend here, or it could not. We don't know. This can extend up without too much trouble. If it doesn't, we have that, which is also fine. If it extends up here, we're fine. This can extend up here. This is either a 1 or it's a 5+. And we don't know. This is at least 4, so this could be a 1. This can't be a 1. Ha! I see. If this is just a 4, right? If I just stopped this here, this would have to be a 1 or a 7. Being a 1 doesn't work because dead end forces it to move at least one space. Being a 7 makes it really hard to fit. There's nowhere it's going to go. Where is it going to make 7? Where is it going to do that? So, note of that. This piece is going to have to extend at least one more space. Can I figure anything else out, or am I stuck there? This is an interesting spot right here. We can't take both of those. So that means we have to take both of these, right? So there's one wall extending, blocking on this palisade piece. And this has to move one of these 2 directions, but not the other, meaning there is a wall here or there is a wall there. Meaning these 2 are not walls, they are dead ends. This piece has to be at least 4. So the minimum this could be is a 2. Like this is, hold on. I gotta make this into a 6 or a 4. Okay, I think I know how to do this. I cannot connect this palisade piece to this dead end, because in doing so I make it a 5. This now can't extend anywhere else. We can't go to the other side of this border. We can't break this thing. If I go the other way to connect it to, we have the same issue. We can't do anything. That makes it a 5, but we know it's a 4 or a 6. Therefore, we have to not touch it. So if I do it this way, we extend, we only have a 3. So we have to make it here. This is in fact a 4, and we're done with that. This is 4. So we put 4s on this side. This has to be 1 or 7. Well, this is a 2 or a 6, which means it doesn't connect to here. This piece now can't be a 6 because it can only extend that far. This is the furthest it goes. So we do in fact have a 2, or excuse me. No, if it extends here, it's a 2. So this has to be a 1. This now is a... This is still 2 or 6. Nothing's changed here. 2 or 6. 6 looks really fun to make. This is just 4. This is just 4. Which means this has to be a 3 or a 5. It can't be a 3 because if it's bigger than 1, it's going to connect to this guy, which is at least 4. So this is a 5. Which means we are actually done with this piece right here. This is a 5, like so. Which means this dead end now has to move upward and connect with this piece. This 5 is complete. So all this junk is done. This is done. 2 away from 4 is again 2 or 6, so we could connect these as a domino or part of some larger mega shape. This piece has to extend. This has to be a 2 or an 8, right? 3 away, it could be an 8, but how am I going to fit 8 in here? That's every space here that breaks all the dead ends multiple times over. So we have just a dead end. Now this can be a 1 or a 3. Dang it, both of those work. Because I could have 2 1s here and then make a 3, or I could have a 1, a 2, a 2, or I can have a 3 and a 2. Just so much of that works. If I said this is a 3, hold on. If I said this is a 3, I would have to say this is a 2. Because it can only extend that far. This is always a 2. This can't be a 1. Because if this is a 1, this is a 2. The 2 can't extend. Oh, fuck. This can be a 2 going that way. That was one of the things I just said I could do. I can totally do that. Dang it. This can't be bigger than that. This can be a 1 just fine because it's 2. 1. This can be a 2 just fine because it can be a 3 here. Or it can be 1, 1, 3 there. Those are also fine. If I were to do this, I'd make that one. This piece has to be at least 2. I can make it this way. Can this piece ever be bigger than a 2? Yes. No. If it moves up, that's the end of that. If it moves to the right, it can't take that or it blocks this in. If it moves down, it's just a 2. So this is also a 2. I don't know if it's part of this 2, but it is this 2, which means this is also a 4. Which still doesn't give me this straightaway. This is possible. This is possible. If I do a straightaway like this, I can't take this 4. I'd have to stop it here. And then I'd have to have... Yeah. This 4, what's it a part of? It can't touch that. That's got to be 2 or 6. There's no way it's going to be 4. So this straightaway does, in fact, take these pieces. We have a dead end. It's going to block just a domino here. This piece here is either a single piece or it is just a domino. So what's next to it is either a 4 or a 5. So this is a 2. Because if it's a 6, it takes too many pieces. Here's how it's going to go. It's going to be a 4. This is going to be a 5 right here. Hold on, let's make the 4. I've been making 4s red right now. This is going to be a 5. This is going to be a domino. This is going to be a 3. Now this space in here is going to be a 2. This is going to be a 2. We have some solo pieces. And now this is solo. We have 2 and we're done. That was fun. I like that puzzle. Okay, next one. Just minimum 3 and boxes. Well, we have a gimme then. These rules they just give us something before we even have to think about it. We can't have, so right, what goes down here? If it's boxy, right, it can be a single piece, but not with this rule. Can't just be this. It can't be just a single width piece because it would only be 2. It must be this, and it can't be any bigger because of the wall. So we're going to start with this 4. This also has to be 4. Now this has to be 8. There's no getting around it. So the 8 now has to be like this. That's the only extension of the 8 we can do. Is that right? Can we? Yeah, that's only 7 pieces. Yeah, it's only 7. So it has to be this. This has to be 4, and it can't be this. It can't be an eye piece because then this would be too small. Now the fun part is this is a 7. Can't be a 1 because it's too small. 7's got to be a straight line. And that straight line can't be up. It's got to be sideways. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is where that goes. This probably is not a 10. Just going to say, because there's nowhere to fit it. So this is going to be a 4. We're going to go here. This got to be 6. This 6 can't be a straight line up and down. Let's make a different color. The 6 can't be a straight line up and down. It's got to at least come out this far. It could be something like this, or it could be something like that. Is there any way there's a wall here? No, because then it would have to take that, or yeah. So these 4 are taken by the 6, so it could take these 2 or those 2. We don't really know for sure. This would work just fine because we'd make a 4 here, we'd make a 4 there, and then we'd make something like that. It's totally fine. This also works. Huh. This actually doesn't work. I don't think this works. The reason this doesn't work is now what goes in this corner. This has to be this 4. Now this 4, this has to be a 6, and there's nowhere to put this 6. That does not work. Therefore the 6 moves up, the 4 moves out. This now needs to be a 4, and it can't be a straight line, so it has to be a 4 like so. This has to be a 3. This is a straight line that has to be a 4 because it touches this 0, so that is that. This can't be a new section, it has to belong to the 7, because if it's a new section, it's just 2. That's that. Oops, excuse me. So this has to be a line that's at least 3. At least that much. This right here has to be a straight line, because there's nothing else it can do, and it has to be 3, exactly. So what's 5 apart from 3? That's 8. 8, it is really not much. It's got to take at least those spots. This has to be a 5. So it has to take at least those 2. That wasn't very helpful. This has to be a 4, because it's 1 away from 3. Like so. This has to be 4. And it can't move to the right or it creates a problem because this has to be at least that. So it's got to move. It's got to be a box. This has to be a 3. And I think I know exactly how this 3 is going to go. Like that. Then we have a 4 here. Or 3 there. Excuse me. It's got to be green. Otherwise you lose the game. 8, 4. Nice. That felt way easier than a 5. Like significantly easier than a 5. So like I went in expecting something more challenging and rewarding than that, and I didn't get it. That's annoying. That was just way too easy. If that had been marked as a 4, I might have been a little happier, but it felt easier than a 4 even. It felt like a 3. Neighboring regions have different shapes, but not different sizes necessarily. Well, that means that none of these can be 1s and 2s, because 1s and 2s is only one way to make solos and dominoes. Therefore, this has to be 3 plus, this has to be 3 plus, 3 plus, 3 plus, 3 plus. This is a totally good use of my time. 3 plus, 3 plus, 3 plus. That's not right. 3 plus, 3 plus, plus, meow, 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 meow. So that's got to be 3 plus, that's got to be 3 plus. Well, now that's going to go. If I bring this down, these are both 3s. They're both the same thing. So no to that. This is in fact a 3 moving this way. That means these have to be straight line. No, this can't. Oh yeah, this can be right. I can make smaller than 3. I just can't put them next to the difference things. So I have to do this. And now I can't put solos next to those. This is a straightaway 3 because it's next to an elbow. This is an elbow, has to bend in because if it doesn't, we put 2 solos next to each other. This has to just be a 4. Well, hold on a second. Let me not overthink this here. Oh, you know what? I've been saying it's exactly 3. Let me go back and say it's not exactly. I still think this is correct. This has to move down, this has to move down. This can't move in, or we have 2 of those. This has to move here. This has to move down. But I could have 4s. I could make these larger. This has to move. This can't move this way. But I could, no, yeah, well, no, these have to be, no, this can't be 4. If I make this a 4, this is a 4, and they're the same. So we do, in fact, have this here. That means this is 3. Okay, so this was correct. This was correct. But this, now, since we know these are 3s, it's not 3 plus anymore. It's just 3. So let me get rid of that confusing 3 plus. This must be a 3, which means it can't go down here because it would bend. So this is still correct. I was correct for all the wrong reasons. This could be 4. This has to be 4, because if it's a 3, it's going to be the same shape, meaning this is a 4, but it can't be the same shape. Therefore, it must be an L shape to do this. This must be a 4, but it can't be an L shape, so it must be a T shape, because it has to take, right? It's got to take this, got to take this spot. It's also got to take this space to prevent a solo from being next to each other. So now, this is going to be, I think I need 3s all in, because I've got 8 spaces here. I can't have 2 4s, right? I've got 3 spots that are important. I've got 8s. No, I have to have 2 4s. The reason I have to have 2 4s is I can't fit 3 separate pieces in of 3. They have to be 2 4s, and the only way to do it is put the L here and put the O there. That means I need a 4 here that isn't a T, which is pretty easy to do. I have to make it a straight line, because I can't put a solo next to that. That is the end of that puzzle. There you go. Nice. I've already done that one. What am I doing? How many more of these before I gild this window? 4 more. Let's do it. Let's not do 6s yet. I'm saving those 6s for later. I'm saving those for a beautiful birthday. This is not part of that section. Are there puzzles that are not 6s and such? Let's do this 2. Holy shit, I forgot about this. So we got 39 spaces to work with, and I got a bunch of 22s. These 22s all have to be part of the same unit. Oh dear lord. Okay, so with my, hold on, it was 39? Yeah, 39 spaces. So 39 minus 22, we've got ourselves 17. These two can't be connected, so 15, 13, 11 spaces left. Then I gotta do something with these. Oh, this is the 40th space, whatever. So this has to be a 3. Then this has to be a 1, because it can't be a 5. This gotta be a 3. This could be a 5, but I doubt it. Let's take this 3. This 22's gotta escape. This is a solo. It's gotta be a 3, means it has to escape. And it could go anywhere we like. If this was a 5, we'd be in trouble, because we'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're bad. So this is in fact 1. This is in fact 3. So let's see. Don't have a lot to work with here. This 22 definitely has to come around. So that's that, that's that, that's that, that's that, that's that. Okay, so we got that. 12, 13, 15, 21, 20. That's just the puzzle. Okay, fine. Easy puzzle. It's fine. Easy puzzles are fine. That's the thing, is like, I don't actually want puzzles to be easy. If you're watching this going, man, this idiot complains every time the puzzles are too hard. No, I don't want the puzzles to be easy all the time. I don't mind if they are, but it's not as fun to solve easy puzzles. But it's definitely not fun to get into a puzzle and get stuck. So you want to have something difficult that still feeds you breadcrumbs along the way, which these puzzles, the difference puzzles, totally do. Lots of other puzzles don't. I know these two got to connect. Then what? This has to be at least 3. What do I do with these guys? Well, no, this has to be bigger than that. I have to connect 2 more spaces to this minimum and 1 more space to that. This is at least 5. So this is 4 plus, and it's not connected to that. So I think, yeah, we've got to do that. Now, this, it has to connect here. We can't put 2 walls there. So that's going to go there. So this is at least, this is 4. This has to be at least 1 more piece. Don't know which one it is. This has to be at least 1 more piece. So we have at least 6. So this is now 5 plus. So we have to take that spot, which means this is the wall. We have to go there. So we've got our 5. We have to take 1 more of these and then 2 more of these, but it could be the same piece. Like this piece is just fine. In fact, if I take this piece right here, we now have 6 here, we have 5, and then this, it's broken. So we can't take that piece. We have to do this. We have 7. I think that is just the puzzle. Cool. Yeah, so it's like, that's a little bite size. Like, okay. It's a little treat, but it's not like super enthralling. It needs to hit that perfect balance of, it's difficult without being a chore. And that is a hard balance to strike. I won't envy a developer who has to hit that balance, but it really helps if you don't tell me up front what you expect me to feel when I'm solving the puzzle. Max 4. Size separation, difference. Okay, well these threes here are important because if the maximum is 4, then we have to have a 1 or a 4 here, a 1 or a 4 here. We also have to do it here, 1 or 4, 1 or 4, 1 or 4 is there, 1 or 4 is here. Do we have any more? 1 or 4 is there, 1 or 4 is here. Now, if this is a 1 or a 4, this makes this a 2 or a 3. That's what that's going to be. And right away, we have our shape. This can't be a 3 because it will touch one of these. So we have a 2, which is now going to give us 2, 1, 4, which also makes this, this could still be a 1 because the 4 doesn't have touch, but it could also be part of that 4. But that 1 is taken care of. This is a 4, has to extend out, meaning this is now a 2. Do we get any more from that? Not necessarily. So let's do a little bit more of this. This has to be 2 or 3. This has to be, this can be any, literally any number can go here. So I think we can now work out this 4 now has to bend this direction at the very least, meaning this has to come out, but that's all we know. This 4 can't bend up. It could be this or it could be that. It can't be this because that leaves an orphan cell here. Therefore, these are all together. We know this is 4, we know this is 1, we know this is 2, meaning this is a 1 or a 3 now. The 2 is here. Why do I smell McDonald's? It's like early in the morning. I got up early to record today, and I don't know why I smell McDonald's. All right. That can't... Hold on a second. Hold on a second. No. Try this again. Try this again. I smelled McDonald's and got distracted. This is a 1, this is a 3, making this a 2 or a 4. So this has to move out. This is a 1 still. Math is hard. These small numbers, 1s and 2s, they're just too hard. This has to be 2 or 3. 2 away from 1 is 3, 2 away from 4 is 2, which means if this does extend out, it will be like so, if that's the 4. Oops. Then if that were to happen, this would be a 2, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Oh, hold on, right here, that's a 2. This is a 1 or a 3. This is a 1 or a 3. I guess you can think of it this way. If you have a difference of 3, in this particular type of puzzle, when it's your choices are 1 to 4, a difference of 3 swaps from the smallest to the highest. A difference of 2 just keeps the same pieces. It's 1 and 3 in some order. Difference of 3 is 1 and 4 in some order. It's the difference of 1 where you swap parities, depending on how it's done. Now what? Now, okay, these are both 2s. Size separation though. Let's take a look at our size separation rule. This 2 can't move to the left because now it's next to this 2. So it must move up. And this one must move left. Still don't know if this is a 1 or a 3. This could still be a 1 or a 4. It can't be a 4, actually, because if it's a 4, now it has to bend through here. And now what is 3 and 1 away from 4? The answer is nothing. So this is a 1, this is a 4. We can go from there. This 4 right here comes out. This has to be at least 3, and in fact, it must be a 3. If it's a 1, it's next to a 1. A 2 is next to a 2. A 4 will become next to a 4. Therefore, that is that, and of course, it is 1 away from 4. This can be 1 away from 3 is now 2 or 4, but we're next to a 2, so this must be a 4. Must come down. Still don't know about this. Can't go across here. Don't have an answer for that one. 4 comes out. 2 away from 4 is 2. Still don't have an answer for that. But then this is 4. And this 4 has to connect here, because if it doesn't, we have a size separation malfunction. This can go here just fine. I know this can't be a 2, but that doesn't tell me anything. This could be a 3 just fine. What else can I do? If I bend this down, I have 2 or 4 here. If I go this way, we're fine. We have a 1 there. If I bend this down, this would be a 1, then we'd have a 3 that goes straight down. I think this is how I break it. This is how I break the puzzle. If I bend this down, well, we're going to have a really, really tough time right down here. This is why. We'd have to make this happen, then we'd have to make this happen. We can't bend this in because they're touching. Now I have to put a 2 in there. What is 1 away from both 2 and 3? I'll give you a moment to think about that. The answer is nothing. So therefore, these come in. That's a 3, that's a 1, and we can go from there. So now this piece has to be, this could be a 1. We could have this just go some other way, or the 2 and the 4 can move that direction. Something about this corner is tricky, but I can put a lot of different things. This just can't be a 4, but this can be a 1, 2, or a 3. Okay. This spot has to be at least 2. This spot can't be 3. I know that much. Ah, that means this can't be a 4. If this is a 4, this would have to be a 3. We'd be screwed. So this is 1 to 3, which is not super helpful. Just gonna say that right off the bat. But it means that this piece can never connect into here. Like if this is a 4, it can't go that way. That's all I would be able to get from that. If this is a 2 moving in, we have a lot of freedom. This is a 4 that moves in. We'd have to have 3. We'd have to have 2 and 4. And then we could have anything there. This has to be at least 2. Well, think about it. If this is a 2, it has to bend this direction. Right? No. No, it doesn't. Because a 3, this still fits. 2 can go that way. I'm trying to think. Can I break it with a wall here? If I put a wall there, this has to be at least 2. Can't be a 1. If it is a 2, the wall can't go here because this could be a 4. They just wouldn't be able to do... a 2 would be like that. This would now be a 4. And what would I gain from that? Nothing, really. Oops. Oops, let me break it. So this is 2 to 4, 2 or 4. If I put this here, put a 3 there. This is fine. I'll just move that over. This could be a 4 or it could be a 2. If I make this a 4... and I'd said this is like so, we'd have this go on, and this would be a 2. This would have to be a 1 or a 3. I really don't get anything from here. I don't think this is where I'm supposed to look. This spot isn't super helpful. Maybe there is something I can do here. If I make this move, I mean, I just can't do that. If I make this move, haha. If I make this move here, this 2 has to come out. Now what do I do here? I can't put a 2 in here, and I can't put 2 1s in there. So the 4 is a straight line. Now this 2 can't move over because we'll have a problem with this. So this has to move up, and we either have a... No, we don't either have. There's not 2 options. There's one option here. It's a 3. Because it's either a 3 or it's a 1 and 1 plus a 2, but there's nowhere to put the 2 that doesn't touch this one. So it is a 3. I should have looked up here much, much earlier. That makes this a 1, right? Because 3, 2 away from that within our range. Still possible for the 4 to go here? No, it isn't. Because now this 4 would have to extend up here and touch that one. So we know the answer down here, 1 and 4. 1, 4 has to be like this. This is 2. This is 2. Nah, this is 3. That's how math works. So there you go. Like so. We have to do it this way because otherwise we have 2 1s next to each other. Now this spot has to be 2. The reason is size separation. We have a 1, a 3, and a 4 here. So we're already touching everything else. This has to be at least a 3 because it's next to 1 and 2, but it can't be a 3 because then it'll touch that. So this has to go here and at least that far. So what's 1 away from a 4? That's a 3. What's 1 away from 3? 2 or 4. It can't be a 2. It's next to 1. And it can't, well, it can't be a 4 on its own, but it can be part of this 4, finishing that off. Meaning this can't be a 4 because it is already next to a 4. This is now a 2. Yeah, it definitely should have started here. So this is 3. This has to also be 3, which means this has to be, oh, this could be a 3 or a 1. No, this can't be a 3. So this spot right here has to be 1. If it isn't a 1, it's part of this 3. But now where does this 3 go? If it bends down, we break the 2. If it goes this way, it touches that 3 inappropriately. So that's a 1. This 2 here, this 3 now touches that. We have this gone. Okay, I think at this point the puzzle's just done. We just have to make sure we don't break anything on the way. So if I were to put a wall here, this has to be this, yeah, this would break it because we would not be able to put anything there. Therefore, this 2 moves to the right. We have to have a 4 and a 2, and that will finish off the puzzle. That was excellent. I really liked that one. Ugh. Right? It's just the perfect amount of stuck. I find something, I go, oh, that was the thing. Now what do I have to find? Oh, I find something. Okay, what do I do with that? There's always some sort of logic I can progress through. That is the best way to do things. What is going on with this? It's 2 similarly spaced rooms that I don't know what to do with. Okay, so in this area of 6, I have to have at least 2 pieces, right? Okay, I can't have a single piece here because you can't have a piece touching itself on both sides of a border, and they're not 2 apart. If I have 3 pieces in here, one of them has to be apart like this, so I'd have to have a 1, a 2, and a 3, right? Because there has to be at least 1 and 3. I can't have 2 and 4 because that's just the whole thing. So if I have 3 pieces, it's like this. There's a 3, there's a 1, and then how do I fill it in? So this is in fact a 2 and a 4 in this spot, which means both of these touch that spot. Here, let's do a different color. Both of these touch that spot, and then one of them is going to do this, the other one's going to do that. So now the question is, which one does what? Now, these have to be separate spaces. So if this is the 4, if this is 4, that means this is 2, and that's 4. So this is going to break it. This is not how it's done. Because, right, this has to... Oh, no, this has to be a different thing. This has to be 2, then this has to be 4, and it has to be a different shape. So it can't be the S. It would have to be this, and it'd be fine. Actually, can I break it the other way around? If I did this as the 4 piece, then this would also have to be 4. Then this would be 2, because there's no way it's 6. There's just not enough pieces in there. And 2, yeah, there's no way to make this delta. So that was it. That's the way this is done. This is like so. So now we have another domino here, and it won't go there because we need 4. So this is how that is. We need to have this, and then we just have a nice little solo piece. So now we just have another one of these puzzles. So this time we have 13 pieces in here, 13 shapes. So I need these 2 to be different. It looks like I have to have 4 shapes in 13. So what I don't have is a 1. I don't have a 1 in these. The reason I know that is because now both of these are 3s, and they would both have to be elbow pieces. That's just the only way they would fit. So this has to be at least 2. So of these 13, if we just said they were 2s, I'm just ignoring this, these would both have to be 4s, which isn't going to happen. They can't be 4. Because then this piece right here would take at least, it would have to take these 4, and now this one doesn't have a room. Therefore, this has to be at least 3. Now, if this is a 3, these are 5s. Well, this piece here cannot be larger than 4. So this would have to be a 1. That would also have to be, this could be a 1, this could be a 5. Here, let's try it. This is a 1, this is a 5, and then these are 3s. And that, my friends, is how you solve the puzzle. That felt very guessy, but at least it was short. And that is the end of the video. Look at that. It's actually been an hour. I've lost track of time, which is good. That means I'm having fun. Yeah, if only the whole game was more like this area and less like this and that, because this is just awful stuff. It just drags the whole thing down. That's the problem if you're the type of developer who's like, I'm going to put every idea I have into the game. I'm going to do every single rule I can think of. There's going to be 1,000 puzzles. Everyone's going to love how much stuff is in the game. Well, the trouble is, if you put that much stuff in the game, it's way more likely that some of that stuff is just going to suck ass. And if it does, you make the experience worse. Just curate the experience. Get rid of the bloat. It's not like you have to get rid of these rules entirely. But if there's less of this bullshit, maybe it's better. I mean, I personally think you could get rid of some of the rules in this game and you wouldn't lose that much. And getting rid of something like this and this, I don't think we would be losing all that much in the game if they were just gone. And then you could make DLC. I don't know. You could do it that way. You can like make the curated experience, which is good and everyone's enjoying it all the way through. And then if you have more puzzle ideas, you release them as a DLC so that people can do that if they want or something, rather than this experience where I feel like either I have to ignore the game and just push through and try to ignore puzzles I don't like, which means I don't play the full game, or I have to play through stuff that's just awful. And this isn't. This is good. Just keep this. Keep this, not this. I don't know. That's the trouble with telling devs what to do. First of all, if devs are watching this, don't ever listen to random strangers. I'm a stranger to you. Don't listen to me. But what I've learned is if somebody tells you something's wrong, they're correct. If someone starts telling you how to fix the problem, though, you don't have to listen to that. So if I'm telling the devs, here's how you fix your game, don't listen to that. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But like, if you've watched these videos, you've seen me run into problems that really, really frustrate me. And any dev who knows what they're doing, if they have playtesters have those issues, you take note of that. You just take note that something is going wrong in the game and you need to fix it. But it's just, you just put too much stuff in. Just leave it down to this. I'm 70 plus videos into the series that when I started it, I don't know why I thought this. I was naive. I thought it would be 30 to 40. I thought I would finish it in a month and I'd move on to another game. I would do something else. I would get back to the other videos I'm making. I don't know. Maybe I would get a new hobby, something like that. And now I'm still playing this out of some misplaced desire to be a completionist. It's just too long. And there, I'm ending my video where I had a good time playing fun puzzles with another criticism of this game. Why did you do that? You could have made this so much better, and you didn't. There, goodbye.